Then we come to another group of solutions which I have called improved solutions, and that means try to improve the performance of public transport which is usually used. And one example for that is bus rapid transit. You can see here examples from Nigeria in Lagos, where one of the largest bus rapid transits is existing. Also, we have similar solutions in other countries in Africa and Southeast Asia especially. And the system is that you have a dedicated bus lane where you can quickly jump off and jump on the bus, and that the bus can go through the city. This is especially useful if you don't have the opportunity to have a metro train in a city, and therefore there are a lot of cities thinking of implementing a bus rapid transit. Also, a video here for this solution.
Servicing more than 150,000 passengers on a daily basis, the Lagos State Bus Rapid Transit, popularly known as BRT, has evolved over the years in relieving traffic challenges and providing sustainable transport system in the state. Since its introduction in 2008 till date, a huge number of Lagosians rely hugely on this system of transportation for mobility.
It's safer and it's more conducive than other buses because there is no selling of market inside the BRT buses.
Because of the special routes they have for them, a specific route where at least it will not affect traffic straight down. It aids someone from getting to his appointment fast than you should think of.
I like BRT. In fact,
I love BRT. I board BRT buses all the time because they are so efficient.
Of all the cities I've been in Nigeria, I think coming to Lagos and meeting BRT, I think it's wonderful. I enjoy the transportation, the comfort, the AC.
BRT bus is very convenient and safe, and again, it's very fast. You understand? So I think that's why I love to take BRT bus.
It's an easy transport in the sense that because of the hold up, it's easy going.
The BRT has been operating in Ikorodu here. At least all of us we have been very free on transport issue.
Operating from Ikorodu to CMS and vice versa on a dedicated lane, passengers say BRT has greatly helped transportation in the state, but it also has its fair share of shortcomings.
If they can improve on availability of the bus, being on the ground before, so it will be better.
And we have the small shuttle, the mini shuttle. It will also help in other areas. A lot of people will not be going out with their cars if you have such things.
The reason why people prefer BRT is because they believe it will save them time and it gives them some level of comfort. But whereby you come and waste over 2 hours at the bus stop and sometimes the bus will not come, then you see that the whole purpose is defeated.
We know about it and we're working on it. In fact, the waiting time has reduced. If you ask them that, how was it 6 months ago to now, they'll tell you that waiting time has reduced and we're working on it. We're working to even reduce it further. And the way to do it is we're putting more buses out on the road, and we're hoping that by the end of this month we'll have at least 300 buses on the road, and by end of May we'll have at least 350 to 380 buses on the road daily, and that will even reduce their waiting time more, because my goal is I don't want anybody to spend more than 10-15 minutes to wait for a bus.
Compared to other means of public transportation in Lagos State, many believe the BRT, since inception, has brought about positive changes in transportation system. From reduction in journey time to affordability to comfort and safety, the BRT, no doubt, has beneficial effects on a large number of users. Olatudo Yusuf, LTV News.
Also here you have heard some of the arguments. Think about the benefits and the shortcomings of the BRT solution. Here in Germany, we have another improved solution. So one major backbone of public transport is the train. And they try to make the train, especially in short distances, more attractive to commuters, especially commuters, working commuters. So they brought up a prototype which should make the traveling by train more attractive for commuters on short distances. I also show you that.
Die Welt ist im Wandel. Und auch wir müssen uns mit ihr verändern.
Beim Ideenzug geht es darum, den Zug der Zukunft für den Regionalverkehr zu kreieren. Und der besteht aus einer ganz neuen Wohlfühlatmosphäre im Zug. Der Kunde soll künftig letztendlich im Zug alles tun können, was er möchte und was er vielleicht auch schon immer tun wollte, aber bis heute leider noch nicht tun konnte.
Die kritischste Ressource in unserer heutigen Zeit ist Zeit. Niemand hat mehr Zeit. Die Zeit, die die Leute bei uns im Zug verbringen, die muss so sinnvoll sein, wie es nur irgendwie geht.
Die schafft man indem, dass man wirklich sagt, die Reisezeit wird zur Nutzzeit.
Der Ansatz ist, dass wir aus diesem Ideenzug möglichst viele einzelne Ideen generieren können, die je nach Einsatzgebiet sich in einem Zug wiederfinden.
Und der nächste Meilenstein ist, dass wir ein anfassbares Kundenerlebnis haben in Form von einem 1:1 Modell, wo man es betreten kann, wo man es testen kann, anfassen kann, erleben kann.
Und da geht es also darum, was gefällt den Menschen? Welche Sitzanordnungen, welches Design, welches Ambiente, welche Konfiguration? Das wollen wir mit dem Ideenzug herausfinden.
Wir haben viele unterschiedliche Zielgruppen, aus deren Sicht wir verschiedenste Ideen aufgegriffen haben und setzen diese jetzt einfach im Zug prototypisch um zu zeigen, was könnte denn hier tatsächlich einen Mehrwert generieren. Wir haben Fitnessräume im Zug, wir haben eine Chill-Out-Area, wo man im Prinzip einfach ein bisschen zur Ruhe kommen kann mit großen Panoramafenstern. Wir haben Public-Viewing-Bereiche, wo man zusammenkommen kann, um wirklich ein Gemeinschaftserlebnis zu generieren. Wir gehen sowohl auf Pendler ein, die sehr, sehr arbeitsfixiert sind und deswegen auch Ruhe brauchen, als eben auch auf Familienreisende und deren Bedürfnisse mit einem speziellen Kinderabteil, mit einer eigenen Ecke, wo Kinder spielen können.
Wir erproben ja auch im Ideenzug Scheibendisplays oder interaktive Displays. Das sind Wege, um neue Möglichkeiten der Informationsversorgung aufzuzeigen.
Uns treibt vor allem dieses Spirit an, einen Paradigmenwechsel bei der DB herbeizuführen. Alles neu zu denken, den Zug der Zukunft zu kreieren für Millionen von potenziellen Fahrgästen für die nächsten 15 bis 30 Jahre.
Ich möchte den Nahverkehr revolutionieren. Wenn die Leute gefragt werden, wie sie in die Arbeit kommen, dann darf es nur eine Antwort geben mit dem Schienenpersonennahverkehr.
So sorry, the only video I found was in German, as you could see. But the basic concept is of this idea train to make traveling, commuting to work and back from work to home, to make more use, to give the opportunity to commuters to make more use or better use of their time. So they brought into this idea train all means you could think of: sports facilities, some playing grounds for children, launches, working centers, and so on. Because the main value of the train in comparison to using your own car is that you can make use of your time, and to leverage this opportunity is the main idea the main idea behind the concept of the idea train. So think of that. What are the benefits of that? What might be the shortcomings? A next improved solution is electric mobility, electric vehicles. This is a big topic at the moment all over the world. So to replace the combustion engines by electric engines. One of the shortcomings, just to name it straight, is the recharging infrastructure, because usually with classical recharging points, the time for recharging it is too long. It lasts between 1 and 1.5 hours if you have a low voltage recharging station. And the range, because usually an electric vehicle brings you about 300 to 400 kilometers. So if you have to travel for 1,000 kilometers, you could see you have to recharge it 3 times for a duration of, let's say, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and this is not very comfortable. Therefore, the challenge is not only to bring in the technology for electric vehicles, but also to build up an infrastructure for it, so that the overall aim is to make it as comfortable as going to a gas station and refill your car. And there are different solutions in place for making electric vehicles more attractive. I'll also show you. So inductive charging is just one means of solving the range problem and the recharging problem. There are other means, but this is exactly what you have to think about when you are interested in electric vehicles. How could an infrastructure be in order to make electric vehicles more attractive? For example, in Germany, they had the goal to sell about 1 million electric vehicles by 2020. This goal was missed, significantly missed. And one of the reasons are range anxiety is one, and the other one is the recharging problem. And therefore, that's what you have to think about, not only the electric vehicles, which are in place at the moment, but how to solve the recharging problem. Think about the inductive road solution. What are the benefits? What are the shortcomings of this solution? And the last one, where especially the automotive industry is working hardly on, is the notion of connected and autonomous cars. This brings a lot of benefits with it, like with connected and autonomous cars. Car sharing would be much more feasible than it is today. Then smart parking, a lot of distances in cities are due to searching for a parking slot. And with smart parking solutions, you can minimize the time and also the emissions significantly. Then maintenance service, some hotspots, infotainment, fleet management, which is for business applications especially very interesting, navigations and traffic data, which can control the flow of traffic through a city more smartly, which is also called smart cities, and so on. So there are a lot of applications for that. Just to give you a short impression on that, also a video.
Autonomous driving, a car that drives on its own. What will traffic look like in a few years? When will we see it on the streets, and how is it going to work? We'll show and explain it in this clip. The BMW Group is implementing autonomous driving in their vehicles over 5 levels. With each higher level, the responsibility for driving will shift more and more from the person at the steering wheel to the car itself. Level 1 already started some years ago. Assistance systems support the driver, for instance with active cruise control with stop-and-go function, distance to the vehicle in front, or warnings against collisions with pedestrians. BMW combines these and other groundbreaking innovations under the name BMW Personal Co-Pilot. Today, the second level has been reached with the latest BMW 7 or 5 series, or the X3 for instance. Here the driver is aided by assistance systems and can remove the hands from the steering wheel for brief periods. In 2021, we expect to see the third level. The driver will sometimes be able to completely turn their attention away from driving, but must be able to step in again on short notice. By 2021, the first pilot fleet should be on the streets and level 4 should be reached. Here, drivers might even be able to sleep. They must, however, still be basically fit to drive in case they have to take over control of the car for specific sections of the journey. It is at the most advanced level of development between 2025 and 2030 that cars will drive autonomously. The driver will become another passenger and won't even have to be able to drive, as the car will assume complete responsibility for the task of driving. So how will this work technically at BMW? The partly automated driving at level 2, stereo cameras and radar sensors monitor the immediate surroundings. Level 3. The highly automated driving requires highly advanced sensors such as laser scanners, video cameras, radar systems, and area maps provided by HERE, which together produce a 360-degree model of the vehicle's environment. This makes it possible to calculate more complex driving maneuvers. And in 2021, your daily commuting might look like this. In Level 4, for the fully automated driving starting in 2021, all sensors and cameras will supply far more precise data. Further real-time data from improved maps by HERE will also be factored in the process of computing driving maneuvers. And Level 5, autonomous driving is due to be implemented in cities in the time frame from 2025 to 2030. For the BMW Group, the vision of autonomous driving has long since begun.
So, as you can see here, there with fully autonomous driving, meaning level 4 or level 5, you get a completely different notion of the car sharing concept, because autonomous driving is only able to reduce the number of cars when a sharing or access-based concept of driving is implemented in parallel. And therefore, the question is, especially with autonomous driving, what are the benefits, what are the shortcomings of the solution?